The self-doubt is polite, but it also means you sometimes absorb blame for failures that were never yours. So I should get more angry at the AI? If I throw away the politeness, does it make the AI fix the problem more readily? I'm about to ask my AI agent what it thinks about me, and I'm gonna tell it not to hold back and be blunt. We'll see what it says, and hopefully it's not as brutal as last time. You can find that in the description below and use it for yourself. How do I act when I get frustrated about something, or I ask you to fix something and it ends up not being fixed at all? Be blunt, don't sugarcoat anything, but also give me what I did right. Let's see what my AI thinks about me. You know, last time I asked it, it was like, oh, you start things but never finish them. Oh, that was a hard thing to confront. Let's see what it says. The record. Across 5,232 prompts from January 20th to July 15th, about 101 carry a clear frustration signal. Your median prompt is 90 bytes. Your median frustrated prompt is 194. Well, that's interesting. It can tell when a prompt is frustrated or not. Roughly 46 of those 101 include pasted logs or output. So what happens is when you're developing, usually the platform either spits out an error message, and you could just I just took those and pasted them right into the agent to find out what was going on. What the hell was going on? Roughly 46 of those 101 include pasted logs or output. The word still appears in about 36 of them. In 6 months, there is exactly one all caps outburst. Still failed to fetch. February 22nd, and 0 profanity and anger. Okay. I used to have the mouth of a sailor, but I guess I've cleaned it up, and I realized that I shouldn't get mad at the machine. There's no point in getting angry at the machine. It's just reflecting whatever your error is back to you. The closest you've come to swearing in celebration. Actually, damn, it's freaking working now. Good job, good implementation. Sometimes, you know, it just happens. You get caught off guard and you just start, you know, dictate the first thing that comes to your head. So the blunt part, your frustration has a signature word, and it's still. That word is doing real work. It means you're on the second, third, and fourth lap of the same problem, yes. And your responses to that is to report the symptom again rather than change your approach. Now, is that the definition of insanity? Am I running into this problem over and over and over again and refusing to change my approach? Maybe I do that because I lean a lot on the machine. I lean almost exclusively on the machine to do the technical stuff. Again, I'll own that. I don't know how to code. Your escalation arc is the opposite of what it should be. Your first report of a bug is detailed and evidence-rich, and each retry gets thinner until you're down to a bare, it's still not working. I don't know what else to say. That's exactly backwards. The third failure is when you need more precision, not less, because by then, the obvious causes are eliminated and only the specific ones remain. Instead, you fade into exhaustion speak and hand the wheel back. What can you do when it keeps failing and you don't know how to fix it? The only thing to do is to keep trying to fix it. Keep asking. And here's the deeper pattern underneath it. When a fix comes back, you ask, was it implemented correctly? And paste the logs 51 times. It's probably my paranoid head. I just don't want to encounter that problem again. You said it yourself on March 5th. I can't make full sense of the code itself. Can you do this for me instead? So your verification loop is, the machine says it's fixed. You ask the machine if it's all really fixed. The machine says yes, and then reality votes no, and you're back with still. You're grading the student with the student's own answer key. That's why not fixed at all keeps happening to you. Not because you get angry, but because nothing in your loop independently confirms a fix before you move on. You administrate the problem, rerun it, report it, document it, instead of cornering it. Mop, not leak. One more. Mid frustration, you hedge. Apparently. Maybe they're not wired. Did I need to restart the servers again? The self-doubt is polite, but it also means you sometimes absorb blame for failures that were never yours, which lets a broken fix survive another round. So I should get more angry at the AI? Is that what it's trying to say? If I throw away the politeness, does it make the AI fix the problem more readily, faster? I've never thought about it that way. I thought that would be detrimental because what's the use of getting mad at the machine? The machine doesn't know your anger. Or maybe it does. Well, with the full context that Corpus is giving it right now, I mean, that could be the case. What you actually did right, and it's a lot. Okay, it's throttling back. It's saying, come here, I got you. Well, there's something that you did right and you should keep doing it. You lead with evidence. Nearly half your frustrated prompts arrive with logs and output attached before the complaint. Most people do the reverse, vent first, evidence on request. Yours is the correct order and it makes you dramatically easier to unblock. It blocks you? You blame the thing, not the agent. 6 months, hundreds of failures, one all caps moment, zero abuse. You stay transactional under pressure, and that keeps the work moving when other people's sessions would dissolve into arguing with the tool. You self-implicate. Did I need to restart the servers again? Is a person checking their own contribution to the failure before demanding someone else fix it? So that's coming from like the data center background. You need to go ahead and see if something happened first. If it is something that you could fix outright with your hands, then the problem can be fixed quickly. Maybe it's something that you could do on hand, because a lot of the work that I used to do involved multiple teams of people from all different geographical locations in the world. China, India, South America, all of these regions and places had their own teams, and we were managing huge pipes of data. And so when they give me a call and I'm at the data center, I can only really do the things that are in my vicinity. So I found that in order to fix a problem quickly, you kind of have to self-implicate yourself first. It's not really self-implication, it's finding out what could have gone wrong where you were or where you are currently, and what you can fix and contribute to the main solution. And that saves a lot of time, because something like that, I guess it really translates to working with multiple agents, is it devolves into a finger pointing session where, oh, that thing failed because that thing failed because that thing was bad from the beginning. We have to avoid that and fix the problem as quickly as possible, because if anything, if you're not doing that, you're just burning tokens. Just like in real life, if you're doing that, you're just wasting time. Everybody's time that's on that call. So that's definitely something that I learned from my previous experiences, from my long years at the data center. You cut your losses fast. Let's shelf this UI adjustment, dual rollback. You don't sunk cost yourself into midnight death spirals on a cosmetic fix. Knowing when a fight isn't worth the evening is a skill most builders never develop. I always found it best to put the thing that you're having trouble with aside. And then when you can come back at it with a fresh lens, but a full context window, it'll definitely help when you're having AI try to fix something. And that's worked for me, for sure. One line, you get frustrated like a professional. Evidence first, no venting, quick to fold a bad hand. But your reports get vaguer exactly when they need to get sharper. And you keep asking the thing that broke it to confirm it's fixed. So that's super insightful. And so it's something that you get to keep in mind when you're working further. And when you can ask these questions from AI, it's something that improves your thinking. It evolves the way you think. So let's ask it another question. And it's in the same vein. what exactly do I ask over and over that actually doesn't get a fix? What are the things that I just run into over and over again without actually solving the root cause of the issue? As always, don't flatter me. Be blunt. The record. 4 questions account for the bulk of your repeat traffic, and every one of them shows up in every single month from January to July. Handoff and session restart asks 112. An example of that would be, was it implemented correctly? Yes, so that was our issue from the question before. With logs pasted, rate limits and usage quota, cleanup, and what was our task again? Remind me. The blunt part. These aren't 5 separate problems. They're one problem wearing 5 costumes. When something recurs, you build a ritual around it instead of killing it. Take the biggest one. 112 times you've asked some version of how do I hand a session off, or pick up where we left off. Your answer was to invent the handoff document, Fable handoff and its siblings, and to be fair, that's a real system, and it works as a system. But step back. You've spent 6 months getting very good at losing context instead of asking why your sessions keep dying mid-task in the first place. Sessions that end at natural boundaries don't need handoff docs. Yours end mid-thought constantly, and you've optimized the funeral instead of the health. That's an interesting insight, because a lot of these failure modes were basically the computer shutting off. I had 3 times where I got a power surge. There was a string of storms here in my area and cut off the power. And I didn't know how to solve for that before. I tried solving for it with persistent state master, my markdown document, keeping track of exactly what's going on with the repo at almost all times. Even though I'm trusting the AI with a lot, I apparently don't trust it when it comes to crashes. If something crashed, I built systems around the recovery on the crash, but I just don't trust that it's actually fixed anything or it can actually go back to the state that it was supposed to be and work off that. So that's definitely an issue. But it's saying, oh, you have to fix the root of that problem. I mean, fixing the root of that problem is getting a dedicated power supply, right? But I don't know if that's something that I can really do. The rate limit story is the same shape, and it's the most damning because it has the receipt from day 1. January 20th, your first day in the corpus, you wrote, I'm nearing rate limit soon. July 2nd, hit a wall with usage limits. Same wall, 5.5 months apart, word for word, the same collision. In between, you asked about the quota 45 times and ran the model efficiency passes 28 times. So model efficiency was a really early skill that I made that I realized I needed to save tokens because I was just on a subscription, on a $20 subscription. And what better way to save tokens than by using the right models at the right time? If I don't need to use a sufficiently advanced model, then no problem. I can go ahead and just use a cheaper model, burn less tokens. That was a skill I used to have. It's since been depreciated because I actually ran a Fable audit of all my skills. And basically I ran that audit and it said that skill, model efficiency, was outdated. I really hadn't used it since. It passes 28 times, which is a real half fix, and I'll credit it below, but you never restructured the work, so the wall stops being where you live. You budget the shortage, you never end it. Cleanup, 36 times every month. If you have to ask for cleanup monthly, cleanup isn't the task. Mess production is the task. And nothing you've built touches the rate at which mess is produced. You've hired a maid for kids who are never told to stop throwing food. Well, that's a crazy analogy. I mean, that's just the cost of pushing and developing and shipping. So I guess that's the technical debt that just keeps piling up. if you are not aware that technical debt just piles up, it's just entropy, it's the nature of the world, right? Entropy is always there. Organized systems will always devolve into chaos if you move forward in time. So if you don't know if there's a mess to be cleaned, you need to realize that quickly. And you need to go in and do the hard and frustrating work of actually cleaning up. And that's not just for the AI to do. It's for you to actually look at, and yourself you have to review, because cleanup involves destructive actions. It's what people call RMRF. It's just deletion, hard deletion. So you have to be careful with that step. And the pair that go together, 51 times asking, was it implemented correctly with logs pasted? 23 times asking, what was our task again? You diagnosed the first one yourself on March 5th. Can't make sense of full code. Can you do this for me instead? That's honest, but notice what you did with the diagnosis. Nothing. You didn't build even a minimal independent check, a script that exercises the feature and says pass or fail. This is a cool insight. It seems so simple, but I think the barrier to it was like, oh, I have to design another thing and another thing. But actually tooling is super important anyway if you want to be an efficient developer. You kept asking the machine to grade itself 51 times. The remind me asks are the same gap on the memory side. 5 times in one day you asked what you were doing. The task list existed. You weren't reading it back. That's true. I know I had the markdowns for everything I did. Mid development, you're just like, can you tell me what were we doing again? I forgot. Honestly, just tell me. Just tell me. I don't want to read. And I guess that's just trusting it. Let's see what things about the pattern. Here's the pattern in one sentence. You administrate problems instead of solving them. Recurrence triggers your best skill, building process, and that skill is exactly what lets the root cause survive. Every ritual you build makes the underlying leak more comfortable to live with. You're not failing to notice the problems. You notice them precisely. You mop brilliantly. You have never once gone looking for the leak. And I love how the section about what you got right is like quite small. The rituals themselves are well built. The handoff docs genuinely preserve context. Most people just lose it. The 28 model efficiency passes are real. You didn't ignore the quota wall. You engineered against its symptoms. And the March 5th self-diagnosis shows you can see your own gap clearly when you look. The raw material for root causing, accurate self-observation, willingness to build is all there. It's aimed one layer too shallow. The things you ask over and over, handoffs, is it really fixed, rate limits, cleanup, what was our task, all survive because your answer to recurrence is a better ritual, never a root cause. You keep perfecting the mop while the leak runs. I want to be able to give them a system that helps them, because all my trials and tribulations have been distilled into that tool, into that set of tools that help me fix things, because models might get better, but these failure modes might keep happening, just because when bad things can happen, they usually tend to happen. So failure modes is definitely a thing. This is what we need to fix in order to bridge the gap. It bridges the gap between those with experience and those who don't, but now currently has the tool to be able to, at the very least, bridge the technical gap. So this has been revealing, finding out what AI thinks about me. Hopefully, you can go and ask your own AI using Corpus. I have it in the links down below. You can download it. It runs locally on your machine, and you can ask it anything you want. All of those conclusions are backed by your actual prompts. It's what I called in my previous videos verbatim introspection. You can look with perfect hindsight, and you can have the AI act like a coach with perfect hindsight and perfect memory. We're going to keep asking my AI these questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.